So I'm trying to figure out. Alexa, turn off heater. I'm trying to figure out what this guy belongs to. I think he's a little goblin or orc. I don't. See, he's got this leg thing he's supposed to be coming in on. I don't know what it belongs to, and I don't know how he's supposed to connect to it. Is he like jumping over the stick? Is it supposed to blend in with his backside? So like it looks like a part of his leg, like that. I don't have any idea how this guy is supposed to work. And I'm trying to figure out what he is and what he came from so I can glue him on correctly, but I have no idea what that is. His butt's got some shape to it, so it's possible this is designed to be like under his butt, just like so. But is that supposed to be a knee replacement? Because if it's a knee replacement, I think that's the bottom of a leg, then I totally don't know how this works. Does it go over like that? Like this thing? That would be weird, huh? I guess it kind of could. It could be the knee of his leg, sort of. I don't know. I don't know how this is supposed to work. And I've been trying to find an actual picture of what it's supposed to be so that I can glue it on correctly. I don't know. I mean, he's doing a flying jump kick, obviously. I'm trying to find the focal point for you here. But it's obviously not clear. I have no idea what his correct form is. Let me see if I can get a little zoom going here. Is this any better? Anyway, so I think he's like that's the focal point. Probably about as focal point as I'm going to get with this camera. Not a great camera, my apologies. But anyway, he's supposed to be a flying, jumping dude, and I have no idea how to put him on because I have no idea where his correct angle of gluing is. Somebody had a brilliant idea when they made this guy. What it is, I don't know. And I mean, for all I know, it's just a stick, it's just hanging out here and he's flying in like that. It's not even supposed to be underneath him, It's like he's just jumping this stick. I don't know. But it's weird and it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm a little confused. Anyway, so I got to start working on that at some point. I want to glue it together so I can put it up, but I guess it doesn't matter, right? Paint it. You can make it part of his leg and not. It's up to you, right? Being the owner of said mini, one can do whatever they please. It's like a hair or something. Right. Let's see how much this dried. My daughter is doing a movie night with some friends, and they've been doing the Scream series, and tonight was movie number 6. Yep, they made it all the way to number 6, which is the last one, right? Last one as of now that's been made. See, I don't know where that dark got there. I think there's mold on this. It gets moldy really easy. I think these mold really fast, to be honest. See, that black? I think that's mold. But it's like, why? Why is it molding so fast? This is a fairly new palette, and I didn't get any paint on it. I think paint gets through is what I think what happens. So, yeah. See, like here's one. So, look, that one, I think that's mold too. That black. But some of it is paint. But see how this paint got in the middle? How'd this paint get in the middle? This membrane is too thin. I think the paint is going through it, which is not helping. So I think these membrane papers are not great. I need to find some better membrane papers. It's the ones that came with it. This is Redgrass. So if I had to review this thing, I would tell you their membrane papers are too thin. The paint soaks through. Unless you use, I don't know, particular ones. But the paint does soak through and it will leave marks. And thus the pad will go bad sooner. So keep that in mind. Alexa, turn on Dynamic Duo. Get some extra light in here. I'm going to be using my headset, but it's going to start getting dark, so if I don't have the light on, you won't be able to see anything. Or anybody who happens to stop by won't be able to see anything. All right, let's do this. Let's get something painted. Let's get some paint on something. So I've been trying to get paint down on a lot of different guys, but you can see I've got guys that are just all states of unfinished. Like I still got to finish Adrian, who doesn't have any base. And so yeah, I've got lots to do, and then I've got to get a little bit more on Agden Long Scarf, who's really just a whip in this case. He's Agden Long Whip. I don't know, what's this mild brown going to do? I got to put some extra brown on the Agden's leather skirt or whatever it is he's wearing. And this is a quick shade, so it's not really it's not even an ink. I need more colors. Can you believe it? I got 4, 5, 6, 7 cases plus the few paints that I have on the side here that I took with me on my vacation. I was going to paint, but it proved that Mexico proved to be anti-painting friendly in that I didn't actually find time to paint, which is good, right? I mean, you're on vacation. If you have time to do things you do at home, then the vacation's not as full as it probably could be. I've been using a lot of intense brown. It's kind of like my go-to brown. I mean, there are others, but I've been using it a lot. I think that's actually what this color is here. Put too much down last time though. All right. Let's get my stuff out here. Got some things that are in my singular. I knew I wasn't going to get a lot of painting done, so I took one case with the basics. Got a case with paintbrush, some brush cleaner. Guy, and I got a couple minis. I took 2 minis with me. I took my monk guy with his katana, and then this is my monk minus any weapon. And I took a wet palette, simple little wet palette, all fit in the X case, all ready to go. unfortunate thing seems to be that my katana broke on my monk. Don't know where. Did it fall off in here? Yep, there it is. Good. It's salvageable. Still in here. I'm gonna glue that puppy back on. Now it's resin, so gluing this back on means super glue. So we'll see how good super glue is gonna do for that tiny little point, but that's all I got. That's all I got, so it's going to make it work. Should glue okay, it's pretty light, so it's not like, ugh. I need to get a katana for him so I can say that this is legitimately what he looks like. So how long do you think I should hold this? 10. And do I have the ability to hold this for the right amount of time? Super glue is not as fast drying as you think. Now I do have some Insta-Dry accelerator. It's supposed to significantly accelerate drying time. It's kind of funny. It's wet enough that I can see movement in the reflections. Whoever says super glue dries really fast is full of fafooey. Full of fafooey, man. Unless you don't want it to, then it dries really fast. Now, I've never used this stuff, but it's supposed to help significantly in speeding up the time it takes for things like super glue to dry, like cutting it down from minutes to seconds. Try one more time here before I try to move on to the accelerator portion of the video. 10. All right, we're going to try to discount. 30, 29, 28. This is boring, but you know, you got to do it. 23, 22, 21, 20. Now it should be pretty dry. I can tell it's wet enough because it's kind of moving still while I was putting that on, even though it's been over a minute since I put it on, a couple minutes. So now the question is, will it ever like bond enough that I can let go? Then I can just set it down and let it sit for 24 hours and that'll be fine. But can I get it to that point? Because if it keeps falling off every time I try to let go, well, that's not good. It's been easily 30 seconds, even though it was still already dry. Yeah, I got it on. All right. Now if I could just set him aside in a way that maybe he will stay survivey. Put him down gently somewhere. Hold him up so that the weight of the sword is actually on the figure. There. So this way there's less balance and twist on the figure, so the sword is sitting on it rather than trying to lean left or right, so it should keep it from bending while it dries. So we'll just set that off to the side, hopefully somewhere I don't drop it and immediately break it off again. Let's put it way in the back here. And that should finish drying. So I don't need the accelerator today. Woohoo, yay me. Alright, so let's go back to what I was going to do. So, other guy I have to paint is this guy. Now he might actually get some play soon. Actually, both of them could get play pretty soon. But right now, so I decided that he's a monk. I forgot. He's basically a visage monk. He has these forms of his body that pop out that are basically ethereal. So he's got these wings that come out. And they create a knockback, damaging smack when they come into play. And then you can attack with them. You can use them as an extra attack. Not an extra attack so much as an alternate for like your bonus actions or whatever. And it does extra damage because you're using it, or it does some extra thing because you're using it. Instead of your fists. Now, you could have it come out in any form you want that looks like limbs. So, in this case, I'm using wings. They're my limbs. But they could be arms, like you have an extra set of arms or whatever. So, that's kind of what his whole thing is. I have a few characters that look like they have wings, but mostly that's the only one I have that actually has wings, and that's what they're going to look like when he summons his wings. Now this guy, so he's a monk, so I don't want his armor to look like metal. So I basically made it all like, what do you call it, like leathery armor. But so it's kind of heavy leather. If nothing else, it's just heavy leather. So I'm just trying to decide what else I can do. Like maybe call it out a little bit, put some shading and shadowing on it. I might even paint his body slightly so it looks a little bit more human. The idea is that his head is a dragon face. So that it's like a visage. It's a monk with a dragon's head visage. That's the idea. So it's not necessarily... I mean, he's a shapeshifter. He could change the color of his skin, but it's also a little bit more, what I want to say, intimidating maybe. That's my thought. So what I'm actually thinking is I might do something along the lines of blending two colors, gray and flesh color. so that I can get. I did something similar where I did flesh and gray, or you can do any two colors. If you do blending well with two colors, you can make any two colors look like they belong together. Really, you can, as long as you do the blending good. You get a good blending, so you can't tell where they transition. It doesn't look like orange on top of blue. It looks like orange is blue. You know, it's like they're blending to each other. The blue is maybe the dark spots and the orange is the light spots, and they just blend in, and it looks like his skin is shimmering two colors. So you want to try to get the two colors to be kind of sharing space. So once they blend thoroughly, you actually end up with a pretty good looking figure. So I'm going to try something along that lines with this guy. So I'm going to need to give me a gray that looks. This is just sky gray. That'll probably be my lighter one. And then I have my light gray, which is darker. Light gray is a bit darker than sky gray. Then I need a fleshly color, so we're going to have to go find something fleshy. I want to get more of the, I kind of like I was looking at some people who are painting with all the very, what do you call it, quick paints or whatever they're called, the do-it-all paints. And I really think the ones I like the best from all of the examples I've been seeing in general are the speed paints by Army Painter. This is Holy White. I like the Holy White. It kind of gives it that gray plus white look. Now this is Pallid Bone. Could be skin kind of colored, because it's kind of got the flesh and the dark and the light. So I might try that. I'm actually thinking this plus the I'm curious how that would look if I blended this color. Can you blend speed paints? I may be asking for trouble trying to blend speed paints, but you can see this is a Holy White, which would probably give me kind of a gray effect in the dark areas, and the Pallid Bone giving me the fleshly color on the surface areas. I might be asking for trouble with that, because see, if you look at my Agdon, his head he's got a nice gray look to it, and I like that. So I'm thinking I might do something like that with him. Now, various Dragonborn have fire breath and stuff. He doesn't have that. This is a shapeshifter who's got a humanoid body, but he's like given himself the look, a dragony look. So he's gonna, like, the tail is just, it's not even a real functioning tail. It's just a limbering, it's just what do you call it, an appendage appearance that he's producing. He can't control it. It just kind of dangles off his body, but it's it's there to. That's my goal for him. So we're gonna try this. So this Holy White, not really white. It's gray, gray with some white highlights. That's what's the whole point of it, right? So we're gonna put this as the underlayment. So, and then I'm gonna start putting some flesh over the top of it, and we're gonna see what that does. Hopefully I don't do any damage. What's nice about speed paints is they're thin, so ultimately with speed paints, I might have to go get my shaker, my massage gun thing, because it shakes stuff up a lot better than my arm does. Hold on just a minute, I'll be back. A lot faster too. Sorry, I got distracted a tiny bit by their movie they're watching. Oh, dang it. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. I'm all right. Never mind. So, this is my paint mixer. So, this is a massage gun that I use. It's awesome massage gun. Great for the shoulder. My shoulder's been killing me or causing me issues. But this thing can shake up paint pretty good. You can hear it rattling. See, this doesn't rattle as much. It's kind of sideways. Then you can turn it. The speed paints come with a shaker ball inside of it. It's kind of cool. So that shaker ball's in there being pummeled around at lightning speeds. I like to try to change the angle of the bottle while I was doing it, just so that it gets nice and bounced around everywhere. And there are certain angles that actually will spin the bottle slightly, and I haven't figured all of them out yet. So like this one's not even, you can't even hear the bottle, the shaker ball moving. My little band is coming off. Gotta move it back onto the thing. So the goal here is for the white to disappear, right, in the bottom, because there's a white layer underneath, and it's not supposed to be. I think it's, when paints are mixed up, there shouldn't be dark on top and light on bottom. It should be like all the same color. So the ultimate goal is that these things are mixed up all the way through, so they're the same color. Well, let's see here. Yeah, see, you can still see there's a little bit of white on the bottom. It's kind of hard to get that to fully shaken up, but it's a lot better than it was. I try to shake it so that the ball's scraping around on the bottom, so it's moving the white off of the bottom. And that's the problem. It's not always able to easily... It's easier said than done, because if the shaker ball is moving around in the middle, it's getting the middle nice and shaken up, but it's not pulling the paint off the bottom. If it's sitting on the bottom, it's scraping the white paint off the bottom, and that's the goal. But that's all I got time for, so let's move on. Back to it. It's close enough. I think these membranes would be good if they had like a lip on them. I might even start folding the edges, just so that it... Because like even when I put the paint way in the middle, it seems to still find its way to the edge. Alright, where is my magnet? Oh, that does have water in it. I thought it was empty. Oops. So I'm gonna try this out. So like I said, he's wearing like armor all over his body, but he's also got like this. He's a dragonborn, but I'm gonna try to turn him into looking a little like almost humanoid dragonborn. So that's gonna be interesting. We'll see what how that looks in the end, right? Humanoid dragonborn. Which means getting some fleshy look. Humanoid flesh on top of his dragonborn gray. So I'm going to basically base him with this gray color, with this speed paint gray color. So it should like have some its own highlights, and it is kind of what's cool is that they actually kind of primered this guy, so he's got kind of a almost a Zenithal prime on him going already. So just kind of cool. Big question is how is this attempt to put a fleshly tone on his body gonna look? Fleshly like human flesh. That'll be the big test, won't it? I'm going to put all on his arms and his hands and even these parts of his legs that look like they're open. Even though there's kind of a dragonborn shape to him, I want him to have kind of a fleshly hue. It just kind of shows that his human is showing. He's not human either, which is maybe I should just make him kind of a blue hue. I don't know, because he's actually a changeling, which I don't think is actually a human. So I suppose I should make him have a blue hue to him. So now that I think about it, he doesn't have a fleshly tone to him. But you can change the color of his skin, so it's not like it really matters. I think they're getting to the grand finale on their movie, and I was upstairs and they were all fighting and trying not to die kind of stuff. Like I said, they're watching the 6th movie of the Scream series. They did a movie series where almost every week they got together and they watched one of the Scream movies. And today was finale night. This is my daughter and several of her friends, sister-in-law and friend and friends.